Ozzie and Harriet, starring the entire Nelson family, Ozzie, Harriet, David, and Ricky. Here is Ozzie, who plays the part of Ozzie Nelson. And, of course, his lovely wife, Harriet, as Harriet Nelson. The older of the Nelson boys, David, appears as David Nelson. And his younger brother, the irrepressible Ricky, played by Ricky Nelson. The Nelsons' next-door neighbor, Thorny, is played by Don DeFore.
You are. I am not.
Say Will Thornberry doesn't stand a chance against you.
So what? Does that make me conceited?
Well, what else do you call it?
You wouldn't understand, half-pint.
Oh, yeah?
What the heck is going on here?
Oh, I'm sorry, Pop. Why don't you watch where you're throwing the ball, wise guy?
Well, you call him a wise guy, smart guy.
Who you calling a smart guy, wise guy?
Oh, come on, fellas. You sound like a couple of wild men.
Oh, we aren't really mad, Pop.
You just don't know us very well.
There's an old saying, you know, blood is thicker than water. Like to see you guys on the same side just once.
David says Will Thornberry doesn't stand a chance against him.
Stop arguing. You heard, Pop. We got the same blood in us.
No wonder I'm so little. David's been using it all up.
Come on, cut it out now. That's the kind of stuff that brings on the arguments. Why don't you guys go on outside and play football if you're going to play?
Come on, let's go over and get Will.
And don't start arguing with Will either. He's a nice boy and he's our neighbor.
He's not using our blood, too, is he?
Oh, Ricky, don't be such a sap.
How can I help it? I got the same blood as you.
And don't start arguing with each other all over the neighborhood.
We won't, Pop.
Not unless you started, egghead.
Who you calling an egghead, muttonhead?
Who you calling a muttonhead, chowderhead?
And don't slam...
What'd you say, Pop?
Never mind.
What was the big argument all about?
Which one? There are about 4 going on at the same time. What have you got there?
Oh, just making some Toll House cookies. Say, before I forget it, who is Nancy Baker?
Nancy Baker? I don't know. I never heard of her. Why do you ask?
Well, she called here today.
Nancy Baker. That name doesn't mean a thing to me. Unless it could have... No, it couldn't be.
Couldn't be what?
Well, there was this girl on the bus yesterday morning, and she had these big, heavy bundles, and so I got up and gave her my seat. What's wrong with that? It seemed like the courteous thing to do.
I didn't say anything.
I know, but you're looking at me so darn funny.
What did she look like?
Well, she had brown, wavy hair and a rather nice smile and big blue eyes. Well, I don't know. I hardly noticed her.
Oh?
Besides, it couldn't possibly have been this girl. She doesn't even know my right, or any name for that matter, let alone my phone number. Maybe it was somebody calling up for a gag. You know, it could have been Thorny. He gives that wonderful impersonation of Betty Davis.
No, this is really a girl. She sounded very young and pretty, too. You sure this girl on the bus didn't worm your name and phone number out of you?
Harriet, this is ridiculous. Just because a guy shows a little courtesy to a girl on a bus?
And there were no other girls during the week?
This was the only one, unfortunately. No, honestly, Scout's honor. The only girl.
It's all right, dear. I believe you.
I wonder where this girl got my phone number. You're sure she asked for me?
No, I didn't say she asked for you. She asked for David.
David?
I just wanted to worry you a little.
Well, that's a fine trick to play on a guy.
Oh, who are you kidding? You enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, I was really living it up there for a minute, wasn't I? What did she want with David?
Well, she said something about a dance at the school next Saturday.
Dance?
She's coming over later this afternoon. I better get these cookies in the oven.
Well, just a second. Don't you think David's a little young to be taking girls to dances?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, after all, he's only 15. I didn't even start thinking about girls until I was... Well, I'm sure I didn't take any girls to dances until I was at least... It's funny David hasn't shown an interest in girls before this.
I was wondering why he hasn't mentioned his little girlfriend to me. He hasn't said a word.
Well, what's so strange about that?
Well, he usually talks things over with me.
Oh, well, you gotta face it, dear.
Face what?
Well, there comes a time when a boy stops talking things over with his mother and starts talking them over with his father.
I think you're rushing things a little.
You know, I was just thinking of something. If David's going to have little girls phoning him and chasing after him, maybe it might be a good idea if I sort of had a little chat with him and taught him a few of the little tricks that his old dad used to use when the girls were chasing after me. That's marvelous.
I have a feeling that this little Nancy Baker is smarter than you think. She mentioned something about Will Thornberry. I think David has a rival.
Oh, so that's what David was talking about.
What's this?
Well, a little while ago, David said something to Ricky about Will's not standing a chance against him. I never dreamed it was a girl they were talking about.
Oh, so he really is interested in her, huh? You wait till I see him.
Oh, now, Harriet, don't you start embarrassing the poor kid.
Well, after all, if he's going to start taking little girls to dances, I want to hear about it.
Will you listen to me, please? I know boys. I was one myself.
Yes, I know. Your mother told me.
Well, it's just that I know the pattern. Now, the first thing he's going to do is deny any interest in girls whatsoever. He'll claim he'd rather play football or anything.
Come on in, Thorny.
Hi, Harriet. Oh, hi. Hiya, Thorny.
Hello,
Come on
Thorny.
in, old boy.
Well, helping Harriet out in the kitchen, Oz?
No, but it's not a bad idea.
Did you come over here to make trouble, Thorny?
Oh, sorry, Oz. It was a mean thing to say. Especially since I just ducked out of our kitchen in time myself.
Look, if you two are going to loaf, you go in the other room and do it, because I got work to do here.
You know, Thorny, I have a hunch we're not wanted around here.
You know, I think you're right. You don't have to knock me over the knuckles with a wooden spoon.
See, you gotta watch that Harriet. She gets pretty vicious at times. Come on, Thorny, and have a seat.
Thanks. So, you know, Oz, I just found out a very interesting thing about my boy Will today.
Oh, what's that?
Now, this may be hard to believe, but Will has finally reached the age when he's beginning to notice girls.
Well, I've got news for you, Thorny. It seems that David has his eye on the very same little girl.
Oh, you're kidding, Oz.
No?
Well, that's not very fair to David.
Just what do you mean by that?
Well, if Will's anything like his old man, he's devastating to women. Poor little David won't stand a chance.
Oh, I'm sorry, Thorny, but I find that rather hard to believe.
Oh, really, Oz? It's too bad I'm not a braggart. Because if I were, I could tell you about all the girls who used to chase me around.
Well, plenty of girls used to chase me around, too.
I know, but the girls that chased me didn't throw rocks.
Well, I was a pretty popular guy in school, Thorny. You know, I remember once I was going steady with 3 different girls at the same time.
You know, that happened to me. But it was 4 girls.
Wait a minute, let me think for a moment. Genevieve. No, by golly, I was wrong, Thorny. It was 5 girls.
Now, just a second, Ozzy. Let's be honest with each other. Now, how many girls did you really go steady with?
Only one. Harriet.
That's what I thought.
And how many did you really go steady with?
7. And now my little boy is following in his dad's footsteps.
Yeah, it's really frightening the way they grow up. You know, it's hard to believe those kids will be graduating from high school in a couple of years, isn't it?
Yeah. The next thing will be college.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to realize David's going to college.
Maybe medical school for Will. He shows a definite talent for medicine.
I think David will probably go to law school. He's always been more or less interested in law. Some pretty tough courses.
We got pretty smart kids.
That's for sure.
Well, it'll be just about Will's senior year when he meets the girl. You know, the real girl. Like I met Catherine.
Yeah, it'll happen to David, too.
And then comes the wedding. Gee, they won't have very much money to start with. Will just out of medical school and all.
Oh, young people always find a way, Thorny. They'll get by okay.
Yeah, I know, but there's no sense in the kids starting right out on their own. We got plenty of room in our house. Gee, why couldn't they spend a little time with us anyway?
Yeah, well, I'd like it for Harriet's sake. They stayed with us, and David and his wife could save their money for a home of their own.
You know, Oz, Will getting married, going to medical school, that's pretty exciting, but I understand the biggest thrill, the thing you always remember, is that first grandchild.
That first grandchild. Say, is it a little too drafty for you there?
Well, it's a little chilly, Oz.
Would you like me to get a shawl and throw it across your shoulders?
No, that's all right. I'll have to be running along anyway. I think I'll take a little nap this afternoon.
Want me to walk across the lawn with you? The grass is kind of wet, and it's pretty treacherous rounding the hedge.
No, that's okay, Oz. Well, I'll be seeing you, old-timer. No, don't get up. I know my way around this house as if it were my own.
And that's the way I always want you to think of it, old-timer, as your second home. And I know Mother and the boys feel the same way about it.
Well, it's mighty nice of you, Oz. And, of course, you know the same goes for you, too.
Well, we old-timers have to stick together.
That's the spirit.
Well, goodbye, Zarny.
No, not goodbye, Oz. Just till we meet again.
David, Ricky?
Hi, Mom.
Don't go away. Lunch is practically ready, and David has to get dressed.
Get dressed? You mean dressed up?
Well, yes, you want to look nice when Nancy gets here.
Who?
Well, your little girlfriend, Nancy Baker, she phoned.
Nancy Baker phoned here?
Well, yes, dear, I thought you knew. She's coming over this afternoon.
What's the big idea?
Well, she said something about a dance at the school next Saturday.
I'm supposed to play football this afternoon.
Nancy Baker.
Ricky, stop that.
He's never even seen her.
No, but I will this afternoon.
Well, now, wait a minute, young man. You're not going to hang around while Nancy's here. Remember, she's coming for David.
She can have him, boy.
I wish he would stay. I'm supposed to play football.
Well, she's not going to stay all afternoon, dear.
Golly, I hope not.
I don't know why you take that attitude. Don't you like her?
Harriet, stop pumping the boy.
I'm not pumping him. What's the matter with her, David?
Well, she's all right, I guess. Except she thinks she's pretty good. Just because she gets all A's in her report card. Just because she's the prettiest girl in school.
Well, if that were me, I'd think I was pretty good, too. What does she look like?
Oh, she has brown, wavy hair, blue eyes, and a nice smile.
Does her mother ever ride the bus?
Ozzie, don't change the subject.
I was just wondering.
I'll bet she's a lovely girl.
She sounds perfectly adorable.
You boys better go wash your hands now. Lunch is almost ready.
I don't think I'll have any lunch, Mom.
Now, you see, Harriet, you've upset the boy.
Well, I'm all right, Pop. I'm just getting in training.
I don't think I'll have any lunch either, Mom.
Well, what's the matter with you?
This whole thing has made me sick.
Well, that'll be enough now. You just go wash your hands.
Shall we adjourn to the powder room, dearie?
Go on, both of you guys. Beat it. Oh, by the way, Harriet, if you have nothing for me to do, I'll go upstairs and kind of dress up a little bit, too. Do I have a clean shirt somewhere?
Well, you're not going to change your clothes, too, are you?
Well, I just thought I'd put on a dark suit and maybe a different necktie.
Well, what's the idea?
Well, you want me to look presentable, don't you?
Believe me, dear, I've met Nancy's mother at the PTA. She has brown hair and brown eyes, and she's not coming over here this afternoon.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's eat.
How do I look?
Fine.
How's my hair look in the back?
Fine, fine. Think you're going to enter a beauty contest or something.
Mom says I got to look presentable.
What the heck are you going to do?
What does it look like I'm going to do?
Looks like you're going to shave.
And that's exactly right, sonny boy.
Are you kidding? I got more fuzz on these grapes. Oh, no, I didn't want to look at this. Did you cut yourself yet?
Of course not. Don't look so disappointed.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good, wasn't it? I think next time I'll try it with a blade.
David had better hurry, Nancy. He'll probably be here any minute.
Well, he's getting dressed now.
Is he still resisting the idea?
I rather think so. He was singing the prisoner song in the shower a moment ago.
Oh, I'm glad you got him to take a shower.
Oh, he's combing his hair. He's got a new white shirt on. He's even borrowed my best necktie.
Well, that's good. I want him to look nice. Excuse me, dear.
Thorny will probably have his kid all decked out in a new blue suit, white carnation in the lapel, probably teaching him some of that corny poetry of his.
Well, why should Thorny care?
Well, he wants his kid to show David up.
Sounds ridiculous.
Well, Thorny's a pretty ridiculous guy at times.
Oh, what are you doing?
Sorry. I just got an idea. I thought maybe I'd teach David a couple of tunes on the ukulele. Ooh, maybe Yes, Sir, That's My Baby, or Somebody Stole My Gal. Oh, no, that was...
I'm sure he'll do all right, dear.
Well, it's just a question of family pride. I don't want Will Thornberry coming over here with his silk shirt and his fancy poetry and his white carnation taking David's girl away from him. I want to make sure Nancy goes to the dance with David.
Well, she probably will, dear. Don't forget David's a very nice boy.
He's a nice-looking boy, too. He's got your hair, your eyes, your nose, and my necktie.
Oh, that's probably Nancy. Now, you answer the door, and I'll see if David's ready.
Well, hello there.
Hello, I'm Nancy Baker. Are you Mr. Nelson?
Yes, I am. Would you come in, Nancy?
Thank you. My, you certainly have a lovely home.
Oh, thanks. Dave will be down in just a moment. He's been out playing football all morning. He's a very athletic boy, you know.
Yes, I know he is.
Yes, we try to encourage that. Some boys like old poetry, for instance, but David is strictly an outdoor man. Won't you sit down, Nancy?
Well, thank you. I see you live next to the Thornberrys. I know Will Thornberry very well.
Oh, do you know little old Will?
Yes, he's a very nice boy.
Yeah, Will is he's a very sweet little fella.
Well, this is Nancy, I presume. So nice of you to come.
Here, this is Mrs. Nelson, Nancy.
How do you do? David will be right down.
You certainly have a lovely home.
Thank you.
David does most of the gardening for us, you know. He's a very handy boy to have around the house.
Hello, Nancy.
Hello, David.
Why don't you sit down on the couch next to Nancy, David?
Yes, I'll go make some lemonade.
How'd the football game go this morning, son?
Well, you're only tossing the ball around, Pa. Wasn't really a game.
Oh. You ought to see David throw those passes, Nancy. He really uncorks some long ones.
I'm not very good yet.
Ozzie,
Yes, dear?
will you come help me squeeze the lemons, please?
But... Well, okay. Pardon me a moment, Nancy.
Your father's a very nice man.
Yeah, Pop's a swell guy.
Your mother's a very nice woman.
Yeah, Mom's swell, too.
Do you have anybody else in your family?
Oh, yeah, I have a dog and a little brother.
Oh. Oh. What's his name?
Chief?
Your brother's name is Chief?
No, that's the dog's name. My brother's name is Ricky.
Oh. You certainly have a lovely home.
Thanks.
I guess you're wondering why I came over.
Yeah, it was.
Well, some of the girls decided to have a dance next Saturday.
A dance?
Yes, do you like dancing?
I really don't do very much of it.
We're going to do the Charleston. That's a new dance step.
Oh, yeah, they do it in all the movies on television.
Hi. Who's this?
It's my little brother, Ricky.
Hello, Ricky. I'm Nancy Baker. Would you like to see me tap dance?
Just don't pay any attention to him.
Oh, I think he's cute.
He is not.
I am, too. Can you really tap dance, Ricky? Sure. I can sing, too. Really? You'll have to come over and listen to me sing in the bathtub sometime.
Hey, Ricky, Mom's calling you.
I don't hear.
Hey, Mom,
Yes, David?
would you call Ricky, please?
Hey, that's cheating.
Ricky, come help your father help me squeeze the lemon.
What for?
For about 15 minutes. Come on now.
I'll be back a little later, Nick. Your little brother is very nice.
Nice of you to say so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You certainly have a lovely home.
Thanks.
We're each supposed to ask a boy.
What's this?
To the dance next Saturday.
Oh.
Don't you think dancing's a lot of fun?
Oh, dancing's all right, but I like football better.
Well, football's all right, but I like dancing better.
All the guys like football.
I'm a girl.
Yeah, I guess you are.
I imagine you'd be very good.
Oh, I need a lot of practice on my passing.
I mean, you'd be a very good dancer.
Oh, thanks.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Ricky.
Ricky? Well, goodbye.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Yes, well.
You certainly have a lovely home.
Thanks.
Yes, were you supposed to ask a boy?
You asked anyone yet?
Not yet.
Oh.
Were you going to say something? Go ahead.
You certainly have a lovely home here.
Where's David, Harriet?
Oh, he went over to the playground and played football.
Oh, good. Nancy seemed like a very nice little girl, didn't she?
Didn't she, though?
How do you think she and David got along?
Oh, just fine, I guess. When I came in here with the lemonade, they were sitting there on the couch just listening.
Listening to the radio?
No, Ricky's singing.
Oh, now, don't tell me he was interrupting them here.
No, David seems sort of glad to have the company. I think he's pretty fond of Nancy, though. He didn't drink any of his lemonade.
Really?
Nancy didn't drink hers either.
It's the first time I've ever heard of lemonade going to waste.
Oh, it wasn't wasted. Ricky drank all 3 glasses.
Well, at least it interrupted his singing.
No, by this time he was tap dancing.
Oh.
Hi, Mom. Pop. I got good news.
Well, you sure look happy. What happened, son?
I won out over Will Thornbury.
Well, congratulations. How about that, Harriet? Thorny and his old poetry.
When did this happen?
Just a while ago. I only beat him by 1 vote, too. It was pretty close.
How about one vote? Well, who voted?
All the guys on the team.
Well, what team?
Our football team. They elected me captain.
Well, that's fine, dear, but what about Nancy Baker?
Oh, they don't have any girls on the team, Mom.
No. Aren't you going to take Nancy to the dance Saturday?
I can't, Pop. That's the day of our first game.
You mean Will Thornberry's going to take her?
Oh, no. He's our fullback. She tried to get him to take a friend of ours.
Oh, well, this is terrible. The poor little girl won't have anybody to take her to the dance.
Sure she has, Mom.
Well, you just said you and Will were going to play football.
We are, but she's got a guy to take her.
Well, who's going to take her?
Hey, Mom.
Yes, dear?
Would you teach me how to do the Charleston?
Oh, Harriet, have you seen Ricky?
Oh, he was here just a minute ago. He was reading a book.
Reading a book? You sure it was Ricky?
I believe so.
What kind of a book was it?
I don't know. I didn't ask him. It was a book with a great cover.
Oh, it was probably that Sports Digest I got him for his birthday. What's this?
That's it.
Oh. Well, no, this isn't the book
Yeah,
I
wait.
gave him.
Look. Poems of Love and Inspiration.
The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring the entire Nelson family. Ozzie, Harriet, David, and Ricky will be brought to you by Antazyme. Listerine Antazyme toothpaste stops the major cause of tooth decay every minute of every day.
Well, good night, folks. We'll see you again next week.
Good night. And remember, Hot Point changes your viewpoint automatically.
That's what I always say, boy.
What do you always say, little man?
Hot Point changes your viewpoint. Automatically.
You can find where to buy your new Hot Point by checking your local classified telephone directory. Look for Hot Point under the appliance you want. Ask your local Hot Point dealer to show you the new Hot Point ranges, the new Hot Point refrigerators, the new Hot Point automatic washers and dryers, and the new Hot Point automatic dishwashers.
Tune in the other exciting series of Martin Caine, Private Eye, starring Lloyd Nolan on radio every Sunday afternoon over the NBC Radio Network. Martin Caine, Private Eye, starring Lloyd Nolan.
What's the matter, old Sam? You afraid someone's going to rob you? I just want to buy something.
Every night it's the same. For 4 hours I see no one. I lock up. Then all of a sudden everybody in the neighborhood wants some ice cream or some candy or something. All right, come on in. Hurry up. What do you want?
I want some money, old Sam.
Well, you're crazy.
The money!
I know you. They'd put you in jail.
Just get the money. Oh!
No, please, no! Oh.
You say you have got an eyewitness, huh?
Yeah, Marty. A bus driver on his way home came around the corner just as the kid came out of the store. Not only that, but the boy managed to leave several souvenirs behind him, including fingerprints on the rim of the candy jar.
Well, pulling a stunt like that in his own neighborhood spells only one thing.
Yeah, he must have been foggy, all right. It has all the earmarks of a job that only a kid doped up would pull.
How's the old man?
Well, he's still on the critical list. Multiple fractures of the skull. If he lives at all, he'll probably be blind.
Too bad. Say, have you got any leads on the kid?
Not yet, but we'll get him. He's a cinch. You know as well as I do, Marty, right at this minute, that boy's making every wrong move in the book. This is the type that catches himself.
How old did you say he was?
17.
You got any record?
None. Excuse me, please.
Oh.
The kid's an orphan. Lives with his sister, beauty operator. She says he's been acting very strange lately. No pep, doesn't eat, moody.
Where'd you check his school?
Yeah. Generally the same report. His teachers say that for the past 2 months, he's either been way up in the air or way down in the dumps. That is, when he's bothered to come to school at all. He was due to graduate in June.
Chances are now he's on his way to a college where he'll never get out.
That's right.
Say, Lieutenant, do you mind if I drop by and have a talk with the boy's sister?
Of course I don't mind, but what for? What's to be done, Marty? The kid's guilty.
Yeah, I suppose he is guilty. But if you're right on your guess about him being hooked on dope, so are a lot of other people guilty. The people that hooked him on it. People that sold it to him.
Marty, I don't get it. What are you getting so excited about? You don't even know this boy.
Well, look, this is the way it is. You see, I never had a kid brother. Every time I see a youngster in trouble, Well, all of a sudden he turns out to be my kid brother. All right, come on, give me that address.
Yeah, sure. Here you are. Pencil?
Yeah. Let's see, Wayne.
That's right.
Julia. Huh?
Mhm.
Julia Lane.
It's all my fault. I thought I was smart. I thought I could raise my kid brother as well as anybody. Now look what's happened. Police are after him. I'll do anything, Mr. King. Anything to get him out of this mess. Why, before this thing happened, Billy wouldn't even hurt a fly. You can ask anyone around here, they'll tell you. What can I do, Mr. King? What can I do?
Well, now, first of all, Julia, if you know where your brother Billy is, the best thing you can do for him and for everybody concerned is to get him into the hands of the police.
I don't know where he is. And even if I did, I couldn't just help to put Billy behind bars.
Well, naturally, that's the way you feel. But now, let me explain. You see, from what we know about your brother, he's a sick boy. He needs help. Now, the longer he's on the loose, the more he's going to keep using that stuff that got him into this mess in the first place. See, the more desperate he gets, the more chances he'll take. There's no telling where he'll end up.
Ow. Ow, ow. How does this thing happen? Mr. Kane, I tell you, Billy was a good boy.
Yeah.
Just how all of a sudden? I can't understand this.
Well, you see, Julie, your brother never had a chance. The odds were against him. The odds were too heavy.
What do you mean?
Well, you might not realize it, but there's an organization in this country that's almost as big as our whole police force. And you know what? They sit up nights trying to figure out... They sit up nights trying to figure out how to make drug addicts out of boys like your brother, Billy. They're people that'll do anything for $1. In my book, they're no good, miserable, dirty, rotten scum. They're the ones that are to blame. They're the ones that are guilty, not your brother. In my own small way, I'm just hoping to get a crack at him.
Mr. Kane, I don't know what to do. I wish I could help you.
You get word to your brother. Tell him to give himself up. That'll be helping a lot. Oh, by the way, where do you suppose I could get a hold of some of Billy's friends? I'd like to talk to them.
Well, they used to hang out at Sam's store around the corner. You might try there.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for Mickey Devlin. He's Billy's best friend.
Mickey Devlin, huh? Okay, we'll see. Now, thanks for everything. And remember what I told you, will you? Meantime, you try and take it easy. I'll drop by again.
Billy, what are we going to do?
You gotta help me, sis. You gotta.
Well, but how? Billy, what's right? How do I know what's right?
Julia, you gotta get me some money. As much as you can. See? Then later I gotta go out. I gotta go out and see someone.
You can't go out, Billy. They'll catch you. Now, where do you want to go? You want to go see someone? Oh, no, Billy. No, no.
You don't know. You don't know. I gotta.
Billy, please, no more of that. Please, Billy, please.
I didn't find Billy's pal, Mickey Devlin, in front of the candy store. But I did find some other things. From the shadows of a second-story fire escape across the street, I watched a girl in her teens contact a real tasty type of citizen, a dope pusher. This isn't my kind of fun. Watching a pathetic little creature doing business with a doorman to hell. Then someone else arrived, but he wasn't hard to identify. This would be the neighborhood undertaker with a silent piece of news. That old Sam had died, and that young Billy would now be wanted for murder. I thought I'd better have a word or two with Mr. Dope Pusher, The louse who had pointed a lethal weapon, a dope-happy kid at society.
I thought you'd be coming on back way. Listen, I want some stuff.
Get out of here. Get away from me. You're hot. I don't know you.
Yes, do you remember me? I'm Billy. You're the guy who used to be so nice to me, giving to me for nothing.
Get out of my way. I don't know what you're talking about. You better know what I'm talking about. I'll take it from you, understand?
I'll kill you. God, get you.
Oh, look, mister, the knife. You saw it. It's self-defense. You're my witness.
Yeah, that's just what I want to be. The witness for your defense. You.
I told Lieutenant Gray that I wanted to take over Dodo's old territory. I wasn't kidding. I was in this case now for the richest fee of all, the personal satisfaction I'd get out of throwing a monkey wrench into the dope machine. But before I can get to the monkey wrench, I'll have to use some other tools. And the first is the fact that dope addicts are creatures of habit in more ways than one. When they're on the stuff, they'll keep showing up at the same time, at the same place, to meet the same guy.
Hey, wait a minute.
What do you want?
Dodo couldn't show up. I'm covering for him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, isn't that too bad? I guess I wrote the wrong girl, huh? Sorry I bothered you.
No, wait. Listen, how do I know you're straight?
No, forget about it. I got a lot of places to be tonight.
Wait. I guess you're all right. Anyway, I gotta take the chance.
All right. What do you want?
Give me 4.
For what?
You know what? I want 4 slugs.
All right, now wait. Take it easy. I'm new on this route. Don't forget, I don't know how Dodo works.
Why'd he come himself? Why'd he send you?
Don't worry. Just you tell me what you want. Be back here in a half an hour, and I'll give it to you. I got my own way of working, that's all.
Okay. But you don't get the dough until I get the slugs, you hear? Not like 4 of them.
All right, beat it.
Okay. But a half an hour. Don't be no longer, please.
Go on, beat it, beat it. Now, that poor kid. No, how about the slugs? What kind of slugs? Slugs of what? Slugs. Oh, those slugs.
Sure, I remember. He had those 4 slugs in his pocket. What about them? Oh, now, wait a minute, Marty. That's cutting it awful close, but, well, I'll do my best. Yeah, I'll have them sent up to you in a patrol car. Where'll you be? Uh-huh. Okay, I'll try to get them there in 20 minutes. Right.
Gotta meet you.
Sure, got him. First, I gotta talk to you for a second.
I don't want to talk. I gotta get the slugs. I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, Dodo says I gotta be real careful. No, it'll only take a minute.
I don't want to take a minute. I gotta get the slugs and I gotta get out of here. It's late.
What's your name, kid?
Never mind. What's my name? Please, mister. Please, you know how it is. Look, here's the money. Here's $20. Just give me the slugs and let me out of here.
How old are you? What, 16?
21. I'm 21. Please, mister, please don't make me wait. Please help me.
You want some help, huh? Okay. Here's your help.
She was hard to think about, but she was easy to follow. Her next stop was a subway station. And at night, it was as lonely, as cold, and as clammy as death itself. And there she stood, demonstrating a new method of peddling dope. Using the odd-shaped slugs that I had sold her to extract packets of dope from a slot marked empty. A method to prevent true evidence, dope itself, from being found on the salesman, the pusher. The most vulnerable link in the entire narcotics syndicate.
Trouble, mister? You find those machines work easier when you coax them with a coin instead of your fist.
I already put a coin in it, officer.
Well, then try your luck at another machine.
Listen, I got a special yen for this machine. It's got my money.
Well, don't let me catch you damaging other people's property.
Don't worry. Say, Is this novelty company, do they own these machines, too?
Well, all I know is a fella comes out at night and takes out the money and refills it.
What time at night? Any particular time?
Oh, any time between now and 7 in the morning. Why?
No reason. I was just wondering.
Hello, this is Lafferty. I may have some trouble. Talking to the man on the platform. I think he's waiting around for the vending machine man. May have a sticker up on my hands. No, I'll keep my eye open. I won't take any chances. I'll call you every half hour. Bye.
Oh, wow, $5.50. Get a pair of glasses, will you? Hello, honey. What's the matter? Scarlet 94724? Oh, I'm sorry. It's the wrong number. Yeah, it's the wrong number. Operator! Operator. Hey, what do you charge for your empty, huh?
You listen, you and I are going to have a little...
I caught you red-handed. I knew this was going to happen. I watched you for 2 hours.
Officer, you don't know what you're doing. You see, I've been trailing this here guy, but don't let him get away with it!
Don't make a move, mister. I'll trap you right in your tracks.
Oh, now listen, did you just put a chill on this case?
Now, cut out the double talk. You're coming with me.
Listen, officer, I'm Martin Kane. I'm a private investigator. Now, that guy on that train...
That's a new one now. Come on along with me.
Look, if you don't believe me, call up Lieutenant Gray in homicide, will you? He'll identify me. Sure, go ahead. Call him.
Strange, the places a guy can find himself walking into just to straighten out something that wasn't any of his business in the first place. I don't know the guys that run this racket, but I do know I hate them. Well, an unlocked door doesn't exactly spell nobody home. So, let's make a little noise. And maybe we'll hit a jackpot.
Enjoying yourself, mister?
Yeah. I came here to return that case to you.
Yeah?
It's yours, isn't it?
Maybe.
Oh, no. No, maybe. It's yours, all right.
So?
So it's all over. You guys are going to have to find some new way of pushing the stuff. This one is all over. It's out of date. It's no good.
Why'd you come here? You ain't no cop.
That's a good guess.
Why'd you come here? You wish you hadn't?
That's a bad guess. I came to get a look at you. I came to see what your kind of scum looks like. To get a load of a rat who'll send innocent kids to the devil for a few lousy bucks. I came here to tell you that you stink, mister. You and everybody else like you.
Hey, that's the guy, Canarsie. That's the guy that jumped me in the subway.
All right, mister. You just hit the jackpot. You got a little prize coming to you. Hold 'em, Bobo. I'll call him again. Hello, Steve. This is Canarsie. Yeah, I know you don't like being disturbed, boss, but we got a problem. A couple hours ago, we had a visitor. Yeah, a private cop. Yeah, he's still here. I think you better come right over, boss. Okay.
Well, what'd he say? Is he coming down?
Yeah, he'll be right over.
is this punk?
Kane's my name. Martin Kane. You don't have to tell me who you are. Boone O'Brien, pride of the Rogues Gallery.
How much does he know?
Everything.
What'd you get me all the way over here for? Why don't you just dust him off?
You told us not to dust nobody off without orders from you, didn't you?
Okay, now you got your orders. Who's responsible for this bum getting on the tail? Who's he working for?
On this job, I'm working for myself. This is strictly for pleasure.
If you're marching, like I asked you before, who's responsible for this bum getting on the tail? Well, answer me. Don't you realize what this might have meant? Don't you realize in the safe there's enough information to get a whole organization out of the water? Don't you realize $800,000 worth of stuff in there? Who slipped up? That's all I want to know. All right. We'll take care of them after we take care of him. All right. Let him have it. I said let him have it. Why, you yellow pumpkin! What's going on here?
That's Mr. Breen. You can file under one of life's little disappointments. Give me that. All right, Lieutenant.
Surprise, Breen. Mr. Kane mopped up on your boys. He called me, and while he was waiting, he rehearsed and staged a little act. And may I say that your boyfriends here make mighty fine actors.
Oh, yeah. Especially when they're acting for a .38 caliber director.
Sure, I'll speak to you. Always very, very happy to help out the press. Huh? Yeah, I'm an old friend of Martin's, but I don't think I know too much about this particular case. Yeah. No, I don't know much about this particular case. So, well, how about you asking the questions? Yeah, go ahead. Who hired him? I don't know who hired him. Nobody hired him. No, Marty's a guy like that. Listen, he's done more for the underdog than a mother dachshund. And what about the little girl who's on the stuff? Oh, she was picked up by the police, and she's gone away for a few months' treatment. Listen, I'll tell you what I'll do. I got your name and your number, and I'll have Marty call you as soon as he comes in. How's that? Not at all. It's been a pleasure. Well, say, dear, oh dear, you just missed the call. It's the press. They want to arrange an interview.
Well, what did they want? My favorite recipe for the homemaker's page?
Probably want to ask you your name and address so they can sell you a subscription, Marty.
Yeah.
How are they making out with that Breen gang?
Well, thanks to those records they were foolish enough to keep. We've rounded up about 20 so far. We'll wind up with a jugful.
We'll have to get 1,000 years apiece.
Listen, Hap, 1,000 years wouldn't be enough for them. You know, that's something worth thinking about, folks. This kind of subhuman rat that attempts to enslave the child of our America. That's the worst kind of a traitor there is. I think it's up to each and every one of us to do our best to crush this menace before it succeeds in infiltrating into one of our greatest heritages, our children. So, good night, and I'll be looking for you next week, huh?
Exciting series of Martin, Kane, Private Eye, starring Lloyd Nolan on radio every Sunday afternoon over the NBC radio network.
Thank you very much. You know, Santa Claus always used reindeers, you know. I know. this kind of deer you can use in any weather, you know. I'd like you to meet my dears. This is Dancer. This is Prancer. This is Vixen. This is my wife's cousin. All right, girl. I would like to make an announcement that this evening's winning script was written by Dr. Christian. Your check for $1.75 is now in the mail. Phone. My goodness, I have no phone on me. Oh, thank you. Hello? Hello? Speak louder. I can't. No wonder I can't hear. Look, there's a knot in it. Hello? Speak louder. I can't. The words are all getting. I'll stop that. Hello? I'll be right over. Where did she go? I'll leave it here. You know that young lady who was here? She has to wear that long dress. Because she's acting. She really is. That's from pulling corks out of bottles. Terrible. Will you give me some hotel music? Let her go.
Oh, here it comes now.
Come, dear. Hurry. Oh, Virginia O'Brien. Virginia, I'm so glad to see you.
Why, Ed, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Well, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Well, what are you doing here?
I guess she forgot her lines, too. I don't know. Oh, I'm glad I met you, Virginia. I read about you in your last picture, you know. What a great singer you were and everything. I've got it here. Would you like to see the clipping? I cut it out of the paper.
Well, I'd love to, Ed.
Here, just take that bag, would you please? Thank you. And this one here. Thank you. This one here now. Thank you very much. Just a minute. You just hold it. I get it. There they are, right there.
Oh, yes, I've seen this.
Will you sing?
Yes, if you really want me to.
Oh, I'd love to hear you sing, Virginia.
Well, what about these bags?
Oh, they'd love to hear you sing, too. Let's go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Well, all right, then. I'd really
Oh, you
love
can't
to.
sing with them?
Well, no, I can't really sing with the bags.
Here, I'll help you out. I was only kidding, really. I was trying to be comical, you know. See? Oh, here, boy. Boy, would you take these 4 bags, please, downstairs?
Yes, sir,
and,
but there'll be a 10-cent charge for each bag.
How do you mean? 10 cents for each bag?
Yes, sir.
Pardon me just a minute. Hold it a minute, please. Would you just hold on? Here's 10 cents. Thank you. Will you sing something now?
Well,
Will you sing?
I'll try it, but...
You sing. I'm going downstairs in the lobby to watch you on a television screen.
Fine. She's only a bird in a gilded cage, a beautiful sight to see. And her beauty was sold for an old man's gold. She's a bird in a gilded cage. She's only a bird. She's only a bird in a gilded cage. A beautiful sight, a beautiful sight, a beautiful sight, a beautiful sight to see. I said a beautiful sight to see. You may think that she's happy and free from all care. She's not, though she seems to be, to be, to be, to be. 'Tis sad, 'tis sad, 'tis sad when you think of her wasted life. For you cannot mate with age, and her beauty was sold. Her beauty was sold to a man with a beard for his doggone gold. Wonder where she found them. She's just a bird in a gilded cage. Hip, hip. She sold her soul for an old man's gold. Hip, hip. She found that youth could never mate with age. She's a bird in a gilded cage.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready to do my Spidell advertising. You know, Spidell is my sponsor. He makes watch bands, you know, for wristwatches and all. I've prepared a ballet, ladies and gentlemen. Come with me, children. This is the ballerina. This is Vera Lee, the ballerina. Ballerina. This is Roy Fitzell. He's the balalaika. Balalaika ballerina. Those of you who have been unemployed enough in the past as to have followed my career, I'm quite sure that you're aware of the fact that I once played on the stage in ballet. I was with the Ballet Russe. It was a subsidiary company. It was called Charlotte Russe, but it was the same thing. I danced with them. I danced with a ballet. The entire music was written by Rimsky-Korsakov. And one night while I was dancing, I stepped on a live wire from an electric guitar, you know. It blew out my Rimsky and burned my Korsakov. That's what it did. But I'm all right now. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I have an announcement that will rock the world. Win will dance again. And if Jolson is watching, I want him to notice that Larry Parks is not doing it for me. I'm only kidding, Al, but you know there's a wonderful thing, ladies and gentlemen. There's a famous French ballet. The name of it is Les Après-Midi du Fond. Which means the afternoon of a fawn. My ballet that I prepared this evening is called Griffith Park at Night. Which means that there's a little fawn in the evening. Now, on with the ballet. The ballet. You see, my ballet tells a very beautiful story for Spidell. It's the story, she plays the part of a wristwatch. He plays the part of a beautiful Spidell band. And I'm an old leather strap. Now, you see what she just did there? She is very sad. She is very sad. See, she's on television, and it doesn't pay much, and she's very... Now, you see, he is very, very happy. He's happy because he has just finished paying for his course of dancing at Arthur Murray. He's very happy. Now, it's my turn now. Cut in, please. You see, the old leather strap can't hold her. Stop it! Stop it! Stop the whole thing. Stop it. Stop it. There's not room on ice for the two of us. You must choose between us. Lousy. Well, that's the way life is, you see. There's nothing left for the old leather strap to do. I'll just have to put an ad in the personal columns, I guess. I'll take any watch I can get. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have really something of great interest to the public. Statistics show that every day thousands of television sets are in need of repair. This is very, very important for you to notice. Very often you get a picture, but you do not get the sound. You certainly have had that experience. Now, tonight, for those who can't get sound and just get the picture, I'm going to bring something new. I'm going to bring silent television. This really might be the beginning of a very happy thought. Of course, I cannot bring you silent television all alone. And ladies and gentlemen, my show is not only being graced by But you also are having a great privilege in seeing for the first time, certainly on television, and alive almost, one of the greatest of the great comedians of the silent moving picture days, Mr. Buster Keaton. Buster, I'm very honored to have you on the show tonight. Silent movies, you know. Well, you can talk, Buster, and I'm quite sure the American public would like to hear you say something. Would you say something? Go ahead. Speak. Hello. And I'll tell the public what's going to happen. Will you go? Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness the first time it has ever been repeated, the original scene, the first scene that Buster Keaton ever did in front of a camera. Right after the Civil War. This is really Buster Keaton's first scene in front of a movie camera. Buster, thank you so much. Thank you to every audience. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Buster Keaton, for this reappearance of yours. Spardell will send you a check in a bucket of molasses.
The Ed Wynn Show will be seen on this same station at a new time next week. Be sure to consult your newspapers for the day and the exact time. Ed's guest will be Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Take up the band. Oh, we love the magic line. The swellest show in town. The tricks are fun for everyone. We love the magic line. There's laughing too, you know. He stars in every show. And have you heard the magic word? Hey, it's Dynamo!
Bonamo, makers of Bonamo Surgeon Taffy, present the Magic Clown.
Hello, everybody.
Well, that was very good. Now I want to see how well you boys and girls can sing, and the boys and girls out there. Want you to all join me in singing the new Magic Clown song. Watch your television, and you sing along with you. I want to hear how well you've learned it. Are we ready, orchestra? Strike up the band. Oh, we love the Magic Clown. The swellest show in town. The tricks are fun for everyone. We love the Magic Clown. There's laughing too, you know. He stars in every show. And have you heard the magic word? Say it's Panama! You know, you did that very, very well, boys and girls. And you boys and girls out there have learned the song very well, too. But tell you what, come on over with me now, because I want to do a trick for you. I want you to meet an old friend of mine by the name of Bossy. Bossy the cow. And you know, she's out in the meadows, right among all the cowslips. See those pretty little cowslips down there? Every once in a while, she eats one. What do you think of that? Well, Bossy is the kind of a cow that loves to give milk to good little boys and girls. And I brought a milk bucket along. It looks like a glass, doesn't it? I brought this milk bucket along, and I'm going to see if Bossy will give milk. All right, Bossy, you give some milk. Oh, she won't give any milk. Oh, I forgot the most important part of all. In order to make Bossy give milk, you have to pump a little like this. And you watch it. We'll see if we can make Bossy give milk. Shall we do that? Now, Bossy, you be a good cow and give us some milk. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's good, Bossy. You're doing very, very nice. I wouldn't be surprised if we'll have a pailful before. That's about enough, don't you think? That's about enough. Look at that great big glass of good milk. And I want to do a trick with it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I have a little can over here, in this little can. What does that can say, boys and girls? Evaporated milk. So I tell you what, we'll take this glass of milk that Bossy just was kind enough to give us, and we'll put this little can of evaporated milk right over it. Now, you see, there's nothing in it. You can look right through and see my big red nose on the other side. And I'm going to put that right over the glass of milk, and you watch. What does that can say? Evaporated milk, and where did everybody say the magic word now? And when you say the magic word, that's just what the milk does. It evaporates the glass and the milk and everything, and you can see my nose right through there. That's why they call it evaporated milk. What are you doing?
Nothing.
What have you got there?
Won't tell you.
Well, tell me.
No? You want a hint?
Give me a hint. Give me a hint.
It has the dandiest, candiest flavor.
Oh,
and it melts in your mouth.
Oh, I've got it.
Oh, sure you have. And boys and girls, I have mine too. I just want you to know that I wouldn't be without my Bonomo's Turkish Taffy. It's so delicious, and gee, it just gives you a lot of pep, too. You know, it's so easy to crack down on the table. Like that, see? Oh, I just tell you, boys and girls, look at those nice, small, delicious pieces of Bonomo's Turkish Taffy. Oh, they're small enough, see, to where you can put them in your mouth like that, and you can share them with your friends and your neighbors if you want to. And Bonomo's Turkish Taffy lasts so long. As a matter of fact, you know, with your money, Bonomo's Turkish Taffy just goes a long, long, long way. So, if you want the peppiest and the most wonderfulest candy you ever had, you just look for the red, white, and blue wrapper. It's the new Never Stick wrapper at your favorite candy counter. And if you don't see it, you just say to the candy man, I want my bar of Bonomo's Turkish Taffy. Oh, it's wonderful. And now, Magic Clown?
Well, you know, Jack, I've been showing the boys and girls how to make pictures. Oh, once every 2 or 3 weeks, I make one of these pictures for them. And today, I thought I'd make one that, to my mind, is very, very timely. I want you to watch this, Jack, too, because it's going to show you something really good. You know, boys and girls, this is the time of the year when we all start thinking about those wonderful, great, big turkey dinners, isn't it? Yeah. So, I'm going to tell you a little about a very, very, very early turkey dinner. You see, once upon a time, there was a fellow who looked something like this. And you tell me, if you can, just what this fellow is. An Indian! Why, sure enough, as soon as you see those feathers, you know that he's an Indian. And do you know that Indians went to the very first turkey dinner there ever was? Did you know that?
No.
Well, they certainly did. And I'm going to show you about this Indian. He was an old friend of mine, this particular Indian. And I think he'll be a friend of every one of yours, too. Oh, he's a really fancy Indian, isn't he? Look at all these big fancy things he wears. He wears such fancy clothes and such a pretty big neck piece. And we have it right here. Oh, look at this neck piece. Look at that. My goodness. And then I have here something. It looks like an elephant's trunk, doesn't it? Yeah. And you watch. I'm going to put that right up here on this Indian friend of mine. This elephant's trunk, right like that. And I think I have a couple little pieces over here that are really, these are sort of funny pieces. We'll put one of these pieces, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put one over here like this, and we'll put another one up here like this. Now, that doesn't look much like an Indian now, does it? So I'll tell you what. I'm going to turn it over just like this. And what have we got? Why, there's a great big fat turkey. What do you think of that?
And now, let's visit the beautiful home of the world's smallest magician. Built just like the famous Turkish taffy kettle, we see a huge puff of magic smoke, and here is the one and the only Laffy.
Well. Hello, Laffy. Laffy, what are you doing down there? Oh, Laffy, are you going to do a trick for us this morning? Oh, it's a secret. You wanted to hide for a minute. Oh, Jack Gregson has to help us. Well, let's get Jack Gregson over here, shall we? Jack, will you come over here and help
hi,
us
Laffy.
with the trick?
How are you?
Well, I'm sure he's very, very glad to see you this morning, Jack.
What have you got in mind?
Oh, you want to borrow something from Jack? Jack, have you $5?
$5?
Oh.
Magic clown, for heaven's sake.
No. Oh, all you wanted to borrow was a ring. Have you a ring?
Oh, yeah, I've got this one.
Well, take it right off, will you, sir? Here's fine. Laffy, will that do for your trick? That will do very, very well. Well, all right, fine. We'll put it right down on the table. And you have a handkerchief here, a pretty blue handkerchief. Of course, you boys and girls out there don't know what color it is, but it really is a pretty blue handkerchief. And what? Oh, you want to put the ring up under the handkerchief. All right, boys and girls, we'll put the ring up under there, and you can see it. Can you see that ring right there? Laffy's holding on to it. Can you all see it? Oh, well, you watch. Now, what sort of a trick are you going to do for us? Oh, you're going to make the ring disappear. Laffy, I don't believe you can do that. You can't. Watch. For goodness. Well, Laffy did make the ring disappear, and what have we got here? Why, a bird cage and a bird. Laffy, that was a very. And I'll bet Jack Gregson liked that one, too.
Oh, that was wonderful, Magic Clown. That was wonderful. Say, you know, one of the nicest things about showing you people hard candy is the fact that I get to eat some every now and then, too. Yes, sir, just say Corday for the very, very best in hard candies. There's every type of hard candy that you ever dreamed about. First, for instance, look at this raspberries, the filled raspberries they are for double enjoyment. And then there's fine, crunchy, peanut brittle peanuts. And then real fruit-flavored baby tart cuts. And there are many more, too. There's taste to suit everybody. And they all taste the best because it is Corday. And Corday makes only the best in hard candies. For instance, these delicious Corday peppermint beauties. Oh, I'm telling you, these are real pepperminty peppermints. They certainly are, with an out-of-this-world flavor. And they're made, too, in just the right sizes. So whenever you want to taste some of that real fine, fresh, minty flavor, they're right there for you to chew and to suck on. And that's pretty often, believe you me. Now, just look, if you will, for the Corday display at J.J. Newberry, W.T. Grant, F.W. Woolworth, S.H. Crest, of course, H.L. Green, the McCrory stores, the McClellan stores, G.C. Murphy, Neisner Brothers, M.H. Landau, M.H. Lamston, and the Fisher Beer stores. Now, you can buy Corday hard candies if you'd like by the bagful, so you can have just the candy you want whenever you want it. So, just remember to say Corday for perfection in confection.
You know, that Jack Gregson has the very best ideas I've ever heard of. But speaking of ideas, I have a little idea for a trick. I'd like to show you boys and girls a card trick. And you know Jack helped Laffy, so I think I'll ask Jack to come over and help me. Come on over and help me, will you, Jack?
I sure will.
Yes,
I'll stand back
Tell
here,
you what
man.
I'm going to do. A pack of cards. This fellow up here, would you like to take one for me, sir? Okay. You take one right out if you will. Take one out. That's fine. And look at... Don't look at it yet. Don't look at it. Sister, would you like one too? You take one right out. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Take it right out. That's fine. Would you want one too, sir? You take one, but don't look at it. That's right. That's right. Don't look at it. That's right. All right. Now, I'll turn my back. And now you look at it and show it to Jack Grayson, and Jack, show it to everybody out there in the audience. Have you done that, Jack?
There's the first one.
That's right.
Here's the second one.
That's right.
And here's the third one.
That's very, very good. Now, don't let me see them, but you put them back in the pack, if you will. Put it right back in the pack. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you put it right back on top, but that's all right. I'll mix them down in the deck like that. You know, I don't think everyone out there could see these little cards, so I'm going to put those away. And I have some great big cards here that you can all see, can't you? And oh, yes, and over here, I have a sort of a little frame that they fit into just like this. Now, who took the first card? Who took the first card? You did? Call it out loud, good and loud, Sonny. The 6 of clubs, 6 of clubs, 6 of clubs. Come up and meet this young man. Come on up, 6 of clubs. Come right up. Very good, 6 of clubs. Come right up. Who took the next card? What was it? What was it? What was it, Jack Grayson?
The second
Yes.
card? Well, that was the 8 of...
The 8 of spades?
Spades.
Well, sure enough, there it comes right. And do you know what card you took, sir? Don't tell us yet. What was it? The Queen of Hearts. All right, the Queen of Hearts. You come on up, too. Come on up, Queen of Hearts. Come up, Queen of Hearts.
Well, that's coming up backwards.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is terrible. Something's happened. Oh, for goodness sakes. Who knows the magic word? And what do you think of that? And there it is. As soon as you said the magic word, there it came up. Just like that. What do you think of that?
That was really wonderful, wasn't it, boys and girls? Oh, congratulations,
Thank
Magic
you,
Clown. That was
thank
good.
you, sir.
Gee, Magic Clown, I'm awful sorry, but that's about all the time we have for today. But now, before we leave, tell me, have you got some real nice tricks planned for the boys and girls next week?
Now, Jack, you wouldn't let me have a piece of candy before the show.
Yeah?
So I won't tell you what I've got planned for next week.
Well, tell me this. Will both the boys and girls enjoy them?
Oh, and just as much as they enjoy Bonomo's turkey taffy.
Oh, well, that's a cinch then. They'd all have a good time.
Don't forget, you buy yourself a bar of Bonomo's turkey taffy.
The Magic Clown is presented each week at this same time by Bonomo, the makers of quality candy for over 50 years. Buy Bonomo's Peanut Brittle, the Better Butter Brittle, and Bonomo's Turkey Taffy.
These simple forms, the ball, cone, cube, and cylinder, you can draw a real picture the very first time you try. Hello, friends. This is John Nagy to prove to you that you can learn to draw by following these simple step-by-step drawing lessons.
Autumn moonlight scene. It's actually a portrait of an old hollow tree. Yes, somebody lives in it, too. All right, what do you say we get our chalks and pencils going and see what we can do in creating a background of mood first. And I'd use a piece of gray chalk just to lightly sketch a circle for the moon. Then a light line, say, across the page about a quarter to a third of the way up. Curved line here, the hill on which we'll set the tree. Now, if you're going to tone the sky around the moon, I would suggest that you put your chalk on its side like that. If you're using only a pencil, place the pencil on its side and just go round and round it. You'll find that, of course, with the chalk you cover a lot more area more quickly. Then you can make your strokes radiate out from the center. We'll smooth that out in a moment and blend it so that it has more of that sort of pale moon, misty effect that you'll often find on a frosty autumn evening. Broad strokes filling in the sky to a medium gray tone. Now, in order to smooth it out, use a piece of bunched up cleansing tissue when you're working in a large area like this, and just go around that circle several times. Continue. Yes, you can reverse it, go the other direction, until you've worked clear across the page. Now, you can also add another interesting effect by making strokes radiate out, moonbeams, cutting across those rings around the moon. Now, if you want to straighten up the edges of the circle, use a piece of kneaded eraser like this and just pick out the little touches. Of course, that's something you can always do later. You can correct the shape of your moon. As a matter of fact, you'll find that you can even trace around a circular object in order to make a good round circle. But it doesn't have to be perfectly round in order to make a good picture. Then down here along the horizon line, let's just suggest shrubbery, sort of misty back there in the distance. Not too prominent. And here, let's put a little cabin in the woods, or in the clearing, let's say. Triangular-shaped roof, and then a sort of a lean-to section, the kind of cottage that the old coon hunter lives in. Might be down in the piney woods, it might be in the remote area of almost any state in the country. Now, for shading, remember your moonlight is coming from back there, so you'd shade the back edge of this building like this. Put in some strokes on the roof, a little chimney, a few windows, and then a few touches such as small trees way back here, very lightly, sort of a wispy lacework of rhythmic strokes to merely suggest the trunks of trees in a row back there. Coming closer to the foreground, we might put one in here and a still larger one there beside the cottage. You can put in foliage by putting a piece of chalk on its side like that and just sort of making an irregular umbrella-like cluster of foliage at the tops of these branches. Now, for the closer trees, you might want to switch to a darker chalk or black to make those trees come forward a little more. But don't hesitate to soften them, because you want to keep them back in the distance. That softening we call aerial perspective. In other words, they're not as sharp and clear back in the distance as they'd be found up close in the foreground. Then here in the foreground, let's put some tone on this hill. And with the light coming from that direction, think of this hill as a ball-like form. So shading would start at the lower edge and blend up into the gray, converging toward that focal point of the moon. Then a touch of blending to fuse those tones together. Later, after we put in our portrait of the tree, we may do a little more. But I'd suggest that you block in an old rail fence here to start giving it the authentic look of a country scene. When I say build a tree, I want you to think of each segment as being a cylinder form that tapers. Now we're going to start the trunk of the tree slanting like this. Think of the roots as being cone-shaped forms, digging here into the earth to support that giant tree. Carry it on up a little distance. Now we're going to make the cylinder form change direction, and then change direction again. Remember that the trunk and branches of trees are not solid, not parallel cylinders, but they do taper, smaller as they go up. Let's attach another cylinder form here, make it bend interestingly, and curve up. Let's put one in here that comes from the other side of the tree, bends down and up, so that we give this tree some character. Might do another one over here attached to the front of the tree. So this branch comes out of the front, that goes out the back, this one comes out the front. Now let's put in another one here, growing out of the front side, so that we make this cylinder form run up here at an angle, curve. Now you can make your branches go whatever way you wish, but be sure that you get character and ruggedness in your drawing of the tree. Then here's the secret of giving it the look of third dimension. Taking a piece of black chalk on its side, remembering your light's coming from back over there, you shade down the side opposite from the light. Notice that it blends off toward the center of the tree. Now this branch would be hidden in shadow, so you could make this branch completely solid. This one would get shaded on the left, and because the moon is above this one, you'd shade this one on the underside, so that light falls on the upper surface of that branch. Then suggest some wiggly branches coming out from there, probably several more. That's something you can do inventing your own tree. You study old apple trees or sycamore trees, live oaks, certain types of willow, and you'll find that they have some very interesting character to them. And we're going to put a place here where somebody lives in this tree. Now for some texture and shading, so that we round out the big tree and give it the look of that irregular bark effect. Texture is something you can always add later, and you can really go to town on working texture. And the best thing to do is study the bark of trees, just to make sure that you get realistic looking texture. Then we might have a branch come down here and across the moon, and perched right on that branch, old Mr. Owl, and somebody else lives right inside here, too. Well, that's about all we have time for on our portrait of the tree by moonlight in the autumn. And I'd like you to take another look at something that I know will be of interest to everyone.
you by self-washing Dreft for dishes and fine washables, and deep cleaning Oxidol for the family wash, starring Ethel Waters as
Beulah. They say everything comes to them that wait. But there's only one thing I ever got from waiting. More weight.
As we look in on Beulah this afternoon, she is busily trying to finish knitting a sweater.
You see, purl 4, knit 4, drop 2. Here's where I drop everything. Come on in, Oreo.
Beulah, I must talk with you about something. What are you doing, knitting?
I'm not baking a cake.
Wish you'd teach me to knit sometime.
Maybe I'll take a year off one day and try. What is your trouble, Oreo?
Oh, it's Mr. Sprague, the Iceman.
Put the lid back on. Why come to me? I barely know him.
Oh, Beulah, he's making eyes at me. And I just know I'm going to have an awful time getting rid of him.
Then just stop putting out the ice wanted sign and he'll drive right on by.
Oh, I couldn't, Beulah. He's madly in love with me. I wouldn't want to break his heart. You know, he says I'm the most mental girl he knows.
You sure he didn't say mental case? Turn off the spigot.
Oh, he's so big and strong and powerful. Well, I'm frightened nearly to death of him.
Then stop giving him the big eye every time he comes near a kitchen.
Oh, Beulah, you know I'm spoke for by Mr. Judson.
Must be only a whisper. You're the only one that heard it.
That Iceman's going to make trouble. Now, I was wondering, Beulah, if you could fix it with Bill so that I could depend on him in case it comes to a crisis.
Look here, Oreo. Who do you think you're kidding?
I don't understand.
Oh, yes, you do. And you're not using Bill to make a jealous play between you and that Iceman. If you can't figure out any other way to keep him hanging around, then just hang out the ice sign all day.
Hello, Beulah. Hello, Oreo.
Hello, Miss Allie.
You don't need to bother about dinner tonight. I've just driven Donnie over to Hawthorne's. He's going to spend the night with Arthur.
Well, what about you and Mr. Harry?
He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to take me out to the Holiday Inn for dinner and dancing afterwards. Just the two of us.
Miss Alice, what would you do if you had a very persistent Iceman and you just couldn't get rid of him?
I'd buy a refrigerator. Oh, I think I hear Mr. Harris.
Hi, dear.
Hi, darling. Get on your glad rags. We're going out tonight.
Why, Harry, how did you ever...
Well, I thought that we're getting so we never kick up our heels anymore. So I called up George Dunstan and made a date with him and Clara to go out with us tonight.
Well, darling, I sort of had a plan for us to go out by ourselves. We haven't been out alone almost since we were married.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear, but I thought that, well, I thought we could kind of kill two birds with one stone. Have a night out and do some business, too. After all, George is a very important man in this town. He can do us a lot of good.
Oh, but, darling, every time we go out, it's for business. And the Dunstans, George is such a loud, boisterous man, and Clara never opens her mouth.
Well, that's fine. You'll only have to put cotton in one ear. Ah, please, honey.
Oh, all right, I suppose so.
Oh, excuse me. Hello? Oh, hello. Is that you, George?
That's just what I mean.
If it's all right with you, Miss Alice, I'd like to go over to Sadie Harris's for a while.
Of course do.
Thank you.
Yes, George, yes.
I got to get some knitting instructions from her. I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't get Bill's sweater finished for his birthday tomorrow.
Well, you'll have the whole evening. Looks as if we're going to be out late.
Oh, no trouble at all, George. You bring little Effie right along with you. She can stay here.
No, Harry, she can't.
Oh, it's perfectly all right, George. We love little Effie almost as much as you do. Okay. See you in about an hour, then. They're bringing little Effie over with them. It's their help's night out, and they can't locate a sitter.
Well, darling, what are we supposed to do with her?
Leave her with Donnie. He's old enough to take care of her.
Donnie's at the Hawthorns. You told him he could go and spend the night with Arthur. We'd have to drive 20 miles to bring him back.
Oh. Well, you won't mind taking care of little Effie for a few hours, will you, Beulah?
Beulah's going out tonight.
Mr. Harry, I wanted to get Bill's sweater finished tonight, but maybe I can...
No, Beulah, I won't allow it. You've something just as important to do as we have.
Oh, that's all right, Miss Alice. I'll still be here for a while, and when I'm gone, Bill can take over, and I'll only be gone an hour or so.
Bill take care of Effie? I don't know.
Oh, Bill loves children, Mr. Harry.
Oh, sure, of course. I think Bill will do very nicely. Look how well he gets along with Donnie. Now, look, you tell Bill if he'll be a babysitter tonight, I'll pay him $5.
I'll bet he'll more than earn it, too.
Come in.
Here's your little love apple, honey, dropping right from the tree of romance.
It's about time. I've been waiting for that apple to drop for years.
Oh, say, honey, that stove looks sort of naked. I sure could do with a little snack. Oh, ain't that nice? You already got something fixed up for me to take over to the shop.
Oh, no, Bill. These are just some cleaning rags.
Well, ain't nobody done no eating here tonight?
Oh, no. Mr. Harry and Miss Alice are dining out. Donnie's over to the Hawthorns, and I thought you and I could have something later at the restaurant.
Okay, baby. But I'm a little financially embarrassed at the moment. You'll have to settle for hot dog.
Hot dogs will be fine. Bill, if I was to ask you to do a special favor for me tonight, would you do it?
Now, look here, this ain't leap year, nothing like that, is it?
No, and if it was leap year, I wouldn't ask you, Bill Jackson, if you were the last man on earth.
Honey, if I was the last man, you'd get trampled to death in a rush.
Very funny. All I wanted you to do, though, was to entertain a young lady for a couple of hours.
No, sir, I positively not. Huh?
Entertain a young lady for a couple of hours?
Oh, that's a pleasure. Any friend of yours, providing she ain't too homely, got a nice figure, and no expensive ideas, is a friend of mine.
The young lady is 7 years old.
Oh, 7?
Mm-hmm. Her parents are going out with the Hendersons tonight, and they got nobody left home to take care of her.
Well, why can't you handle a job? Nobody knows more about kids than you do.
Oh, I got something very important to do.
What you mean important?
Oh, nothing.
You haven't got a date with somebody else, have you?
Of course not, Bill. I just have something important to do.
What?
Well, the ladies' auxiliary is holding a sewing bee tonight, and I'll only be gone an hour or so.
I thought those were cleaning rags.
Why, Bill, I got to have something to sew on.
And in the meantime, you asked a man of my genius and social standing to be a babysitter.
Well, you know you have a way with children.
No, I don't.
Oh, yes, you do. Everybody knows that.
They do?
Of course. Everybody says, what a way that Bill Jackson has with children.
Well, I haven't worked at it much, but I suppose it's true. What's my word against everybody?
Exactly.
Yes, sir. It must be my natural personality. You see, it's just like singing. Some people have a voice for it, and some people ain't.
That's right. Now you be back at 7. Bing.
Come right in. You remember George and Clara, Alice?
Sure she does, sure she does. She retains her memory even if she is married to you.
Nice to see you again, Clara.
Thanks.
Won't you sit down for a few minutes?
Oh, yeah, sure we will. Well, Harry, I see you still have the old furniture. You must be spending your money on wine and women. You certainly can't sing. Can't sing. Why women and song, get it?
Very funny.
We're going to redecorate this spring. Have you done anything to your house, Clara?
No.
Eppie, What are you doing over there, sweetheart?
Nothing, Papa.
All right, come and shake hands with your Aunt Alice. Oh, yes, you do, too. Clara, will you speak to the child?
Hello, Effie.
You'll shake hands with your Uncle Harry, won't you, Effie?
Isn't she a card? Takes after her father, you know. Doesn't she, Clara?
Indubitably.
Always the life of the party, aren't you, sweetheart?
I can see where she'd be the death of most people.
Take it easy, dear. Yes, sir, folks. You know, we can always leave Effie with anybody. They're always glad to have her. Aren't they, Clara?
Yes. Excuse me, Miss Alice. Bill's here now, and you can leave whenever you're ready.
Good evening, Bill.
Oh, this is Beulah and Bill, George. They're going to take care of Effie.
Oh, really? Well, now, that's fine. Say, you know, you won't have a bit of trouble with her. Not a bit. She's a great little trooper. Aren't you, sweetheart?
Yes, Papa.
Well, maybe we had better get started. Don't you think so, Clara?
Yes.
We can all go in our car.
All right. Good night, sweetheart. Have a good time tonight.
Bye, Papa.
Goodbye.
Effie, I want you to meet Bill Jackson. Now shake hands with Bill.
Yeah, shake hands with your old friend, Bill Jackson.
All right.
Now, you take your little coat off and sit down over there, and Bill will get you a picture book to read.
Aren't you going to be here, Beulah?
Not all the time. I have to go out. But you and Bill are going to have a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Bill, I have to be off to the auxiliary sewing circle. I'll be gone about an hour or so. Bye for now.
Okay, man. Well, the little dog, he's fast asleep. Maybe I have got away with kids after all. A few minutes with me, and they fall fast asleep. Oh, my leg! My leg!
Did something happen, Bill?
Something happened, all right.
Oh, Papa says I always kick in my sleep.
Yeah? Well, your papa should have told me. Now, be careful, Effie. You don't want to hurt your old friend Bill, do you?
Of course not, Bill. Oh, I'm so sleepy.
Well, go on back to sleep. I'm going to take 40 wakes myself.
We'll be back with Beulah in just a moment. And now, back to the Beulah Show.
Police! Fire! What in the world are you doing, Effie?
I just put out the fire.
Now listen, Effie. Listen to me. Let's you and me have a little understanding. I have a way with kids, and I like you. But you must cooperate.
Can I go in the kitchen and make fudge?
Well, that's a fine idea. I'm kind of partial to fudge myself. I'll go with you. Maybe she'll electrocute herself on that stove.
I want sugar, chocolate, and milk.
You find everything you need, nice spot. And if you crawl inside and close the door, you're going to find out what makes that little light go on.
I don't want to find out.
Well, just don't touch that. That's Beulah's pet apron. Now, I got to make a phone call. You be a good little girl till Bill gets back. Hello. Is this the ladies' auxiliary sewing circle? I'd like to speak to Beulah, please. What? Not there. Well, she's sitting in a circle somewhere. No meeting there tonight at all. Hello? What's that? Yeah, there's something going on here, all right. If what Effie's doing ain't bad enough, I've got to learn that Beulah step it out on me. And if I find out she's out with another man, I'm gonna... Oh, my. Hello. Oreo? This is Bill Jackson speaking. I'm over to the Henderson, and I'm trying to find out where Beulah is. Hey! Hey! I wonder what she hung up on me like that. No, everything happens to me. Effie, what in the world are you doing?
Feeding eggs.
I ought to have my head examined giving you them eggs. Look at the mess on this floor. Now, Effie...
I was just going to start cleaning up your pins.
Well, I'll do the cleaning up. I said I'll do the cleaning.
Bill Jackson, what on earth are you doing?
Babysitting, 1950 style.
Sometimes I think you're crazy.
Yeah, and the feeling is mutual. Effie, put them eggs down. I think I'm going to let you clean up after all.
I'm not going to because I don't have to.
Effie.
Yes, Bill.
So what do you mean hanging up on me like that?
Oh, Mr. Sprague, the Iceman, came in, and he's so jealous that I was afraid if I talked, he'd know who you were.
So you come right over so as to not to leave any doubt in his mind.
Oh, isn't it exciting, Bill? I just love to be fought for.
Well, now, listen, Oreo. I've got enough trouble of my own without you playing games on me. Beulah, she's out gallivanting behind my back, and Effie, she's remodeling the house, and now you set me up like a clay pigeon. You go on out of here.
What's going on here, Oriole? Is this the man that you said you're crazy for?
What's that?
You got no right threatening to kill this fragile young lady just because she looks at another man?
And listen, mister, this gal has just lost her last marble.
You're talking about the woman I love.
Oh, Dinsmore! They were kissing and making love before you came in.
What? Oh, don't listen now. Take it easy, sir. Tell him it ain't true. Oh, tell him it ain't true.
Oh, I tried to warn you, Bill, but you wouldn't listen. Don't hurt him, Dinsmore. Think of our future.
Nobody's worried about mine. Now, listen, Mr. Sprague. I know you're a high and intelligent man with a double IQ. Don't pay no attention to what that little girl says. She's a juvenile delinquent, just waiting here for the reformatory to come and take her away.
I'm Effie Zilling Dunstan, and he was trying to kiss her.
That's all I want to know.
Oh, don't do it! He didn't mean any harm! He didn't mean any harm! You killed him! You killed him! Oh, and Beulah's gonna be very angry when she finds out we broke her best bowl doing it.
There's nothing wrong with this man that a little fresh air won't cure. So open that window, Oriole. You'll be all right, Oriole. Let's go.
Oh, Dinsmore, you're so strong, it's frightening.
I said come on.
Oh, I feel so helpless.
Oh, me? Why am I? What's going on here? All my life's blood airing out on me.
That's not blood. It's whipped cream.
Whipped cream? Effie, you and me are gonna have some understanding.
You couldn't even catch me, I'll bet.
Oh, God. Effie! Effie! Effie!
Well, Harry, that was a wonderful evening. I enjoyed every moment of it. How about you, Clara?
Immeasurably.
Sure you won't have a cup of coffee or something before you hit the road?
Oh, no, thanks. I'm filled right up to here.
How about you, Clara? Thanks.
Well, come on, Clara, pick up Effie and let's get going. Papa's here, sweetheart.
Effie, this is your old friend Bill. Oh, Effie. Oh, Beulah. What have I ever done to deserve this? Effie! 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 That you, Effie? Effie, please come out. If you come out, I'll let you shoot some more of that cream in my face. Effie. Doggone it, Effie, don't play any more games on Bill.
Effie, dear, if you're hiding, please come out. Your parents want to go home.
Well, she's not in the kitchen and the back door is open.
Well, she's not upstairs. I looked in all the closets.
Oh, isn't this awful? Well, Clara, don't stand there. Do something.
What?
Oh, Bill. Where's little Effie?
I wish I could tell you, Mr. Emerson. I suggest the FBI.
Well, you were in charge of her. What'd you do with her?
Mister, it ain't what I did with her. It's what she did with me.
What do you mean, Bill?
I haven't been through so much since I joined the lodge.
I'm warning you. If one hair of that child's head is harmed, I'll hold you responsible.
Beulah!
Effie, sweetheart, where have you been?
I found her in the basement. She fell down the coal chute.
Oh, the baby, cold chute? Oh, honey, what a night you must have had.
If you vice versa that, mister, you'd be getting someplace.
Mrs. Henderson, I hold you responsible for this.
Don't you shake your finger at Alice Dunstan. If you and that monosyllabic wife of yours would take care of your child instead of foisting her off on unsuspecting people to take care of, this wouldn't have happened.
Well, I'll guarantee you it'll never happen here again, will it, Clara?
What?
Beulah and Bill love kids. I'd just soon have my boy with them as with Alice and me. And if your Effie fell down the coal chute, it was her fault, not theirs. Now, you take your precious treasure and get out of my house. It's been a horrible evening anyway.
All right, very well, I'll go. But you try and do business with me from now on.
If this is the way he has to do business, I'm sure he'll pass it up. Good night.
Good night. Fight. Come on, Clara.
Good night.
See, Bill? All your suspicion was wrong. Here I am breaking my neck trying to get this sweater finished for your birthday tomorrow. Anyway, happy birthday, Bill, and many happy returns.
Thanks, honey. It's just what I needed.
And you forgive me for fibbing to you?
Yeah, surely, honey. Any girl's got to tell a little white lie once in a while. I wasn't really worried. You know, I was just... Just who did you have in mind?
Oh, it'll fit all right when it's blocked.
You got to save me from her, folks. I overplayed my hand. Tell her I went to Detroit.
Hey, wait! Wait! Oh, Beulah, isn't that wonderful? I can just smell the orange blossoms. Oh, Mr. Spring, wait for your love bug! Wait!
Are you sure that Iceman didn't model this sweater?
Why, Bill Jackson, I believe you're jealous.
Oh, don't tell me what I am. Tell me what he ain't.
Oh, Bill, when you talk like that, I can almost smell orange blossoms myself. What a man.
Be with us again next week when Procter & Gamble, the makers of deep cleaning Oxidol for the family wash and self-washing Dreft for dishes and fine washables, bring you The Beulah Show.